Ladies and gentlemen, now in today's video, I wanted to have a bit of a chat about events in Marvel Contest of Champions and why I think this year, at least for me, has been a really big disappointment. Because when it comes to a lot of the events we've seen this year, and there are a couple of exceptions that we are going to talk about, generally the theme has been that the average event is more grindy, has a load of requirements on it, and also has less rewards overall than an event in its place in the previous year. So we have gone from the state where there were some really good events last year, man, and we're going to talk about some of those events, to just kind of breaking down a lot of the enjoyment of those events into massive grind fests which barely feel rewarding. And it's really upsetting to see, because it feels like there has been so much stuff this year that really caters to the whales and the big spenders on Marvel Contest of Champions. Like some of the big old blubbery boys are up there with 6-star champions at Sig 200, getting, you know, like rank 5s and 6-star rank 2 champions all over the place. And I can, you know, attest to that because I'm somewhat of a blubbery whale myself, but I'm not as blubbery as some of the big old boys up there. But it seems like the actual players of this game, the people that want to play this game and enjoy the events on a monthly basis, are just being shafted. They're being screwed over, comparatively speaking. And there is no way that the rewards for actually playing this game are even comparable to spending anymore. It's just so silly. So one of the things that I want to talk about first is a good comparison between like this November and last November, because yesterday the Fantastic and also Doom invasions were announced. So these have like 3 levels of difficulty that you can do to gain some slightly higher tier rewards, and you have to farm them every single day if you want all of these rewards. So doing that, because there are like 15 fights to 100% each one of these every single day, is 1,260 fights, which is just under 1,800 total energy. And for doing all of this stuff, you don't even get enough 5-star shards to form a single 5-star hero crystal. The 6-star shards you get are just over 1,000 there. The only kind of redeeming thing in these rewards are the 5-star Sigstone crystals being at 84 there. The gold is 175,000, and the tier 5 basic fragments are at 3,150. So that's a measly amount of tier 5 basic, and that is for the entire month, man. I've done the calculations, several other people have. These are the number of resources that are going to be available next month in November 2019. Now, if we have a bit of a look a year ago, man, we had the Champions Clash, and this was a challenge. It took me about like 2 hours to do on my main account, and on my free-to-play account, we even did this with mostly 4-star champions. You can see here 4-star Scarlet Witch taking down the final champion boss in the second part of it, but it was a fantastic challenge, man. It was really good fun. So many people really enjoyed this, and it wasn't, again, super insanely difficult to do, as long as you had 4-star champions that could provide the right counters for some of the fights like Void and Hyperion, and also the champion, you were good to go. Now, the rewards for this, for, again, exploration done 100%, were 2,000 6-star shards. So just for doing this, man, you got double the amount of 6-star shards a year ago that you would get this year for grinding out the Fantastic and Doom invasions every single day. That's ridiculous, man. That's so silly. And if we look at the gold is slightly more by about 50,000. The 5-star Sigstones overall are substantially less. However, these are generic ones, so in some way they have like a little bit more value because you can allocate them to exactly the character you would like to, and are not, you know, subsequent to RNG there. If we look at the tier 5 basic, again, 12 months ago, that's 11,250. That is almost 4 times the amount of tier 5 basic just from doing this one challenge 100%, then grinding out the Doom and Fantastic invasions 100% every single day on Master and also Epic difficulty. It's just so silly. The tier 2 alpha is like a little little bit less by like 1,000 and a bit fragments, but the 5-star crystal being a fully formed, that has a value of, you know, 10,000 shards there. Plus you got even more shards for the completion as well in the final chapter. So those shards, I think, added in like an additional 350 5-star shards there, but also you got additional completion and exploration rewards in terms of a couple of tier 4 basic. You got 7 tier 1 alpha, a 4-star generic awakening gem, a T4CC, 15 of the fragment crystals there. So when you completed it, it looked a little bit like this, man. It was a really, really good time. And again, this is a great challenge. It lasted about 2 hours for any player that was knuckling down and smashing it out, and the rewards were absolutely phenomenal. But the rewards for doing this are better than grinding out all month, every single day, all 3 difficulties, doing like 1,260 odd fights. Like, it's just so silly. It's so silly that we're 12 months on, but the grind has inflated exponentially and the rewards are substantially less as well. What? I don't understand it. But I think it's fair to say, if you were to ask like any savvy endgame player which event they'd rather do next month if they had the choice between the Champions Clash Challenge and Doom and Fantastic Invasions, pretty much everybody would choose the Champions Clash Challenge, like anybody with a decent head on their shoulders, because the rewards are so much better. It's much more enjoyable, and also you don't have to grind every single day and spend like 1,800 energy. It's just so absurd. So like comparing these two events side by side to me is just ridiculous, because 12 months have passed, a full year. We should be in a situation where the rewards like aren't even comparable, and it's like a no-brainer that the Doom and Fantastic Invasions are a better event than this event that we had a year ago. It's so silly. It's just so silly. But also, looking at some additional information, we had some more news from Rich the Man's channel on exactly what the objective rewards are going to be. So these are going to be stuff like, I think, fairly simple, straightforward stuff, on top of everything else this month. Now, via the objectives, and again, we don't know exactly how this stuff is going to be earned, there's going to be 2,500 additional 5-star shards. There are going to be 3 ultimate crystals, so those are like a guaranteed 3-star with a small chance at a 4-star champion. Some tier 2 unified crystals, which I don't think are too exciting. I think the tier 3 one potentially could be a little bit exciting, but is most likely like 3,600 tier 2 alpha fragments there. Elemental crystals, I think, are just some sort of glorified version of a premium crystal, or they might be slightly lower resource crystals. I forgot exactly what the basic ones are. And finally, there is going to be a legendary crystal there. So if we add this to like the existing like stack of about 9,000 5-star shards, it's just over 1 guaranteed 5-star champion next month, and a 20% chance, or a 1 in 5 chance, a second 5-star character. And that's where we are. That is where we are at the end of 2019. They can't even put out an event with the release of Mr. Fantastic and Doctor Doom. This is the final arc of the Fantastic Four getting together. We've had 3 events that have built up to this event. And the release of Doctor Doom as a character, man, is so big for so many Marvel characters out there. But the event that they're running alongside it doesn't even guarantee more than 1 5-star champion. Is so silly, because the Human Torch event, man, if we have a bit of a look back, this event I think was probably one of the fan favorites this year, the Negative Zone. So if you did like every single day Master and Epic of the Negative Zone, and the Negative Zone in terms of enjoyment was really fun, because it was really straightforward, it was really quick. You had like 5 paths, and then the Human Torch boss to fight, and this is just yeah, just enjoyable to do, because you could quickly rinse out every single day. It didn't feel like overly grindy. My only criticism was it was once every 8 hours. I think if they had kind of adjusted the rewards to be like every 12 hours and you just did it like twice a day or once a day, that would have felt like a little bit less grindy. But overall, the rewards were insane, man. They were so good. If you did all of the Master ones and all of the Epic ones and got the participation bonus as well, because every time you participated in a round of rifts, you got 50 5-star hero crystal shards as well, which is a very, very nice one. So yeah, you got 31,500 5-star shards, along with 1,260 6-star shards. So the 6-star shards were a little bit lacking, but the 5-star shards were absolutely incredible there. It was a great month for a lot of people because you can make some really solid progress, and hopefully one of those 3 champions was going to be a really good character. Because again, when opening a 5-star champion, man, there is so much trash in that crystal, you never know if it's going to be a good character or if it's just going to be like a meme tier character. Maybe you already have that meme tier character, you get it awakened. Maybe it's a character that's pretty good, but you already have that character awakened and it's not really going to do too much. There are a lot of scenarios where you will open a 5-star crystal and it won't do anything for you. So that's why it's really important, especially in the current state of the game, where you have stuff like Act 6, all of the variants, and in those pieces of content, there are so many specific requirements of champions and counters you need to have. Look at fights like Act 6 Crossbones, Mr. Sinister, like all of the gates and paths everywhere in Act 6.2. There are a lot of scenarios where you need a specific character, or like one of like 3 to 5 characters to actually get through that piece of content. And especially in the game now where there's like 130 different 5-star champions, and again you can get duplicates and like useless duplicates very often when you're like building up a very expansive roster. It's difficult, man. It's really difficult to build like a solid roster for a lot of the end game content, especially if luck is not on your side. And it just seems like stuff is getting scaled back, man, and it's really, really annoying. We have had some good events this year. I really like the negative zone. I think a lot of people did as well. Also, the Atlantean rifts were okay. I think they were one of the better events. They weren't like absolutely amazing, just because there was so much variance. So some people really liked this month and some people just got really screwed over. Like, I felt the pinch on my free-to-play account, man. I had some rubbish RNG, just kept on pulling like tier 2 alpha when I really didn't need it. And on the main account I had a great time, man, because I got like a 5-star featured straight off the bat and like loads of endgame resources. So the Atlantean rifts, you know, they were slightly on the better side. At least they were something that could potentially be quite exciting there. And then also in February we had like the Nick Fury missions, which were really good, but also the Captain Marvel's Combat Clash. Granted, the rewards for this are really good. The event itself, all the Unstoppable, maybe not so much, but alongside that as well, we did have the Love is a Battle Round 3, and this quest was really straightforward, man, and had some really good rewards as well. Had a big old stack of like 5-star shards, some legendary crystals attached to it, so I think this is definitely one of the kind of more middle ground events that pleased a lot of people that they've added to the game, that was just really enjoyable to do as well. So that was a really fun time. But also, going back to last October, man, because this October, like, sucked. It was just so boring without any champion acquisition. Like, a lot of rosters felt very, very stagnant out there. But this one was the one where you raised a symbiote and you got all the materials just by doing like your standard monthly event quest, and you went for symbiote difficulty and got these crazy boosts where you could kill everything in like 10 hits. It was mad. It was really, really enjoyable. And this event, in terms of the rewards, you got 2,000 5-star shards, like a load of tier 2 alpha as well, and also a fully formed, I think it was like 5-star featured crystal as well. So there's a chance to gain some really, really good stuff in that. And this is just like a really quick, really easy event that was really enjoyable to play as well. I think that went down as one of the greatest events in MCOC history, just because it was like a really, really good time. But it just kind of seems like we've lost that this year. It seems like instead of all these fun events and fun challenges that we used to have, we're just getting boring grind fests, which have really rubbish rewards that don't really incentivize you to get stuck into the content and like enjoy the month. It just seems like everything is really drawn out, like 10 times the grind for half the rewards. That really seems to be like the 2019 motto. And I'm making this video today because I want Kabam to acknowledge that they are making these events a grind, that they're putting in all these additional requirements and just making them like really unenjoyable to play for less rewards. And that is essentially just what it boils down to, man. I'm getting bored of these events, and I think a lot of people are as well. We want to return to the days where a side event for a monthly quest was really something to get excited about. It was something interesting. It was like a little bit of a challenge. Maybe there's something curious going on, and we're not at that level. We're just getting like boring stuff to do that has like no flavor, no personality. This month's event was so dull. Like last month's kind of big old Grindfest event that opened up every single week was so drawn out, and it was so vanilla, and it was so plain, and it was just so boring. So I want to return to the days where we had good, exciting events with great rewards to match as well, but we just stray further and further from that every single month. So Kabam, if you could sort out your special events moving forward, that'd be greatly appreciated. If also we can have some celebrity challenges back, or some challenges back, that'd be a pretty great time as well, because it kind of seems like this year you've binned them off, like Avengers Endgame, Spider-Man Far From Home. We didn't get any big challenges around there. The events are really dull as well. So I'm just kind of hoping for some good stuff moving forward, because I want to see you guys succeed and make a great game. But like going this direction is just getting everybody really bored of your monthly events. So please step it up. That'd be greatly appreciated. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think in the comments section below about these wonderful monthly events this year, and which ones you have liked and which ones you don't like, and what are your thoughts about kind of the side events moving forward as well. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you did enjoy today's video, please do smash that like button. That'd be greatly appreciated. Take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.